Hello and welcome. Welcome to episode 0 of. I don't know yet. Couldn't tell you, but it should be in the title. If it's not, then I lost my mind and named it something else or misspelled it or just changed my mind. That's probably not grounds for insanity there. Alright, so, yeah, this is a world I created. It's a small world with. I went medium everything except for minerals, which I went very high. I usually do very high beast, very high savagery. Um, After getting my ass kicked a couple times in a couple fortresses, or actually just having lots of challenge. I wouldn't say that it was fully kicked. I have a high set of standards, and when I lose a dwarf, I consider it kind of a loss. But yeah, I decided, I'd rather have the challenges later. It's not like you're not going to get the challenges. It's just that you don't necessarily have to have the environment come after you. I want the goblins. I want the challenge to come from the goblins. And we have them. We got dwarves, humans, elves, goblins. And also, I think not having the savagery and the beasts so high may help the civilizations flourish because they seem to be pretty strong here. We got humans, we got elves, we got, lots of goblins. Cool. We're in a good area, meaning, also, just so you know, the knowing ores of igniting, see right there, versus the radiant wheel. Yeah, they're at war with the elves. We're going to go with the radiant wheel, though. War with elves is fun, but the thing is, with only one civilization, I'm not going to get any fucking soldiers. So it's for another day. I will do one with a war with the elves because it's fun, but not today. I like towers, though. Towers are, I like necromancer towers, fight against the undead. Although that's a challenge and can be annoying too. Alright, so the scintillating finger is the mountain. It's temperate, no trees, thick vegetation, but that's just for animals to eat grass. You can't pick anything because I know this game. It's wilderness, so medium savagery. The brook is called the Jungle of Bones. It's kind of cool. There's no sand here. There never is. But we do have shallow metals and deep metals, I'm sure, and flexstone. I'll do a breakdown, too. Alright, so that's the mountain. And we could see we got 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the mountain. We got 9 of the temperate comfort forest. The forest of festivals. It's serene, so it's a good aligned area. So where you find fluffy womblers and sunberries, which is a certain type of fruit that you can, and feather trees, which you can only find. It's essentially sort of like a fairy-like forest. You can find unicorns, although that's usually something you see in Joyous Wilds more than not. I have seen unicorns in Mirthful, which is the medium savagery. This is the not savage, so it's serene. So we'll have an easy time-ish, because, we got the scintillating finger, which is wilderness, but, this one is serene. All right, I'm sure there is sand here, maybe throughout, but maybe, not all of it, but maybe, who knows. I'll do a breakdown. Little soil, that's probably throughout, because I think that's the lowest. Shallow metals, deep metals, and flexstone layer. All right, so let's do the breakdown. All right. So this is all the same, and the mountain's all the same. Yeah, I told you there was no sand in the hills. Okay, yeah. All right, so got all the trading partners. We are the Radiant Wheel. As you can see, we're just moving a little bit over here. We're getting a piece of this good area. We're getting a little closer to the elves, who we get along with. Where the other Dwarven civilization is at war. Looks like mostly ones with a couple twos. So it should be mostly flat. Not completely. But it won't be crazy. Prepare carefully. Let's do it. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Alright, so I'm going to open up Dwarf spreadsheet. They misspelled spreadsheet there. It starts with an S, not a T. Okay. Yeah, so bolts. Yeah, so I'll look over these guys. Yeah. Anvils, eh? Listeros, who fucking cares? Steel, well, that's a something. Okay, I'm going to look at these guys. I might come back with a different group. That's possible. I've done that before. I'm not afraid of doing it. And I will be back. All right, I like it. I think I like it, so therefore I like it. All right, so Cog, I'm going to go dwarf by dwarf, because that is what I do. Cog is the carpenter. Also, Cog is the broker. And with broker, I like to have persuader, negotiator, appraiser, conversationalist, and comedian. I also like to have judge of intent, but it's not necessary. It's fun, but not necessary. So let's look at Cog here. Cog, 62.69. Very nice, actually. In fact, it's the highest. And actually, some of these, I think it's because they like something stupid and useless. No, actually, none of them do. All right, likes hemp fabric, emperor pagan language, you know. So if it becomes a noble, who knows. But praiser is 62.89. Broker is 58.06. The nobles are usually almost always migrants in this version. Obak. Obak is the building designer and mechanic. Obak is here. Normally I like to make that the mason, but I don't actually have a mason. Spoiler alert. Jumping ahead. So, mechanic, 67.39. Very nice. Building designer, 99.09. Very nice. I don't know. I think these other skills might have... Oh, no, he doesn't. Yeah. Personality is constantly ablaze with lust. That's problematic. That's funny. All right, so Stakud. Stakud is the cook. Also, a military dwarf and a hunter. Ambusher, crossbowman, dodger, also student, discipline, observer to spot the animals. Discipline will be actually a crossbowman student, so we'll be able to learn. So that's Stakud. Stakud is right here, and Stakud is the cook, 55.70. Also, hunter, 57.303, whatever. Pretty good stats. This is inflated because likes Warhammers, which is not relevant, I don't think. But a good student, 80.68. She's female, and that's relevant because with military dwarves, sometimes I like to put them in danger rooms. But archers, I don't need to. So, and you'll see, actually, there's a militia commander too, and you'll see she's also female. So, this unit will not go in the danger rooms. That's just how that goes. All right, so Lore is the weaponsmith and the doctor. I made a proper doctor. Since I have a proper military, I made a proper doctor. Instead, I always like to put conversationalist and comedian with my doctor because it seems like, it would be nice if your doctor could crack jokes and have a conversation with you. But, all right, so professional weaponsmith, so that's basically what Lore will be doing when Lore is not fixing people up. So novice wound dresser, diagnostician, surgeon, bone doctor, suturer. So all the things when it comes to doctor. So here we go. Lore, we could see. Well, we'll look at this first. Surgeon is the lowest, which is 41.50, which is not very bad. All these are good, like linen fabric, so that's inflated, but whatever. I don't know how, like steel and warhammers. So not really that great of a weaponsmith, but will be better, because it's probably more like a 48, to be honest. But we'll get better, so, and maybe I'll make some steel warhammers, although I like to make silver ones. It's kind of cool. Steel ones are good too. Actually, it's arguable which one is, really better, but it's nice to have silver because it's just so much more accessible and easier to make than steel. You just have to smelt galena or, some type of silver or tetrahedrite, which doesn't get you as much. I digress. All right, so Nomol is the glassmaker, and this is the only thing Nomol does. It's actually the only dwarf that only has really one focus. All right, so glassmaker, 54.7. Very nice. Not exactly the highest, but pretty close. Yeah. What would be better? All right, whatever. I'm over it. All right, so Noble will make some good glass stuff. Usith is the potter. I have a potter. I don't know, always have a potter. And actually, it's a little dangerous. In a way, it's dangerous because I'm embarking in some place that does not have any clay. There's no clay on the map, so I am counting on those mountains to have colonite, and they usually do. If they don't, I will cry. Not literally, or at least not on camera. But, yeah. I'll just, basically, I decided if Usith cannot be a potter, I will transfer Usith into being probably a mason, possibly a second glassmaker, but probably a mason. All right, so competent woodcutter. I also have axeman and dodger. Usith is right here. So you can see I'm very military, even though I don't have a lot of, it's a serene area and just a little bit of wilderness. Yeah, it's kind of indicative of how my last fort went. I'm still actually working on it, but I had a weird creature come up, and I was like, oh my god. It's fun, but exhausting. But fun, but exhausting. All right, so as we can see, Potter right here. Very nice numbers. 62.17. Anybody higher, I think it's because they like some stupid bullshit. Yeah, bracelets and earrings. So, yeah, may very well be the best. And if I default back to Mason, that's fine. Or if I do Glassmaker. So I was looking at these. Or I could even do Metal Crafter. Possibly even, Blacksmith. Also, I didn't go with the original group. They wasn't impressed, so I fired them all and I went with this group. I'm not very cheaty. I don't consider that cheaty because it's essentially, they're all petitioning, and you could just say, no, I don't want your group. The only two things I do is I'll kind of cycle through dwarves, which I don't consider a cheat at all. And I will also typically I'll do prospect and prospect all. That's where I could see, what's around, so I'll know if there's colonite, if I don't see it on the map right away. All right, so that's who this. Minkat. Minkat is my militia dwarf commander. She has leader, teacher, discipline, observer for spotting animals because she's also a hunter, ambusher, animal trainer, animal caretaker, crossbowman, dodger, leather worker. So she's also a leather worker when she's not killing things or training animals or training troops. So we'll have a couple things for Minkat to do. So yeah, it's I got a military of 2, and I have an axe dwarf that can swing an axe. So, yeah, my potter. Did I actually go over the Usith? Yeah, so 40.35. That's okay, but yeah, 48.70. Not terrible. Not terrible. So, yeah, just below 50. But will definitely be above 50 since I have 1 point in it, since she is a novice now. So, yeah, I have an all-female military. I didn't give discipline or anything. For a military with melee weapons, I like to do it all male, or unless I know it's like a lesbian or I think non-sexual or something like that. Because otherwise they'll bring babies into the danger room, and it's horrifying. It's awful. It's terrible. I don't want to run a fort like that. It's just bad. All right, so we're going to go over to things and stuff and animals. We'll go to animals first. All right, I got 9 dogs. Since I have 2 hunters, I'm going to train. Basically there's going to be, we call it 4 hunting dogs. I like to make the males hunting dogs. The females war dogs because it makes a stronger puppy litter, allegedly. I don't know if it does anything if you make them hunting dogs, but that's just how I do it. We got 4 turkey hens. So, I have 7 birds total. 4 turkey hens. For variety, I got a hen, a goose, and a blue pea hen. Turkey hens are the best for meat and eggs. Hens are the second best for eggs. Goose are the second best for meat. And blue pea hens have, eggs and meat too, but not as much as the other one. All right. So anyway, I think that these are skimpier than I don't know. It doesn't matter. All right. I got a breeding pair of cats, so I don't have to worry as much about insects and rodents and anything that it's going to eat my food. So I keep them in the kind of the food area to do that. Okay, over here, Iron Anvil. Do not leave a mountain home without it, or at least I don't. I have trail mix below that. Farming is a very good idea. I don't do it. I rely on foraging, even though I didn't take any skill in it. At first, since as you can see, I don't have any picks or anything like that, I'm going to have some idly dwarves, but I'm going to use them to gather plants. So that's how I do it. And so I have a little bit of wine. I have enough pretty much to get me to the first embark, but I usually will make some before that runs out. So, yeah. So we got a bunch of shit. Bunch of dwarven shit. So, well, it's not shit, but you know. All right, so porcupine meat. All right, so I got 20 different barrels. I do a little exploity things. I lose sleep, or at least much sleep at night. Like these bags will hold up to 100 seeds. So I get 6 bags, I think, for free, and they're 10 points. So it's like I get 60 points of free bags for getting these seeds. So they're extra bags. All right, and they're kind of starter bags. Like if I acquire more of them, then they'll go in those bags. So yeah, this wine, for instance, or any of the booze, it's 5 units per barrel. So this is 3 barrels of wine. This is 2. 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 This is 1. So that's the math there. So this is 3 full barrels and 1 barrel with the bare minimum amount of wine in it. So I got 44, and I got 1 extra barrel for 2 points. They throw it in for free. We're starting a new fortress for the mountain home. The liaison that puts together our order can throw in the extra bags and barrels. So that's how I see it. All right, so the same thing with the meat. Every animal gets its own barrel. Like if I got extra porcupine meat and sweetbread and tripe and lung and kidney, they'll put as much as they can in 1 barrel. But this is separate barrels. So maybe he's giving me the eye, but I'm like, hey, we need help. You guys got us on a budget, but we're just stretching the budget. We're just, stretching out the budget. All right, so, and variety, too. There's variety. So that's another excuse. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 different barrels. You can see all the different meats, and I got a little variety of, like, organ meats, heart, spleen, lung. Got wild boar heart. I actually, got that, too, and kangaroo sweetbread, all kinds of good stuff. Delicious. All right, olivine. Olivine is a stone. You can Google it. I'll give you some time. Time's up. All right, so olivine is green stone. It's kind of pretty. It almost kind of looks like crystal, depending on the picture you look at on the internet. But essentially, it's not the most common stone, but it's green, so it's cool. These are boulders, so I will cut these into blocks, and I will get 4 blocks per, so that's 28 blocks, and I will be able to take one of those blocks, turn it into a wood furnace, take one of these sets of willow logs, and burn those into charcoal. Charcoal, I could just buy it outright. It costs 10. Willow costs 3, so I'm being frugal, and I'm just kind of making it there, just a little bit of effort. So then I take the charcoal, and I take another olivine block. I take the block, and I make it into a smelter, and then I take the charcoal and one of these bituminous coals, and I smelt that into 9 coke. Each one of these, you get 9 coke. So, and I get the first one from, so essentially it's a net gain of 8. That's how I think of it. So each one of these you smelt, you get a net gain of 8 because you're using one of the 9 to smelt the next one. So this works out to, 400 coke. So that's a lot of fuel. Coke and charcoal are, interchangeable. They're basically the same. Malachite's the hour of copper. Copper is a military metal, has a value of 2, which is more than willow or olivine, which has a value of 1. It's twice as valuable. You can make weapons, you can make armor, you could make bolts and trap components, even mechanisms out of copper. So you can make a lot of things as well as like furniture and all kinds of pots and whatever. But you primarily would want to use it as a military metal. Now, this makes 4 bars per. So that's pretty good. That's 60 copper right there. Cassiterite's the ore of tin. Tin also has a value of 2. It's not a military metal. You can not make anything armor, mechanisms, weapons, bolts, picks, or anything like that. You have to use copper. But you can make pots and stuff like that. So this is the same thing. It's 4. Anything the ore of, you get 4. The only 2 exceptions are galena and tetrahedrite, where you get with galena, you get it's the ore of lead, so you get 4 lead, and tetrahedrite's the ore of copper, like malachite, so you get 4 copper. But you get more. You get silver. Like with galena, you have 50% silver. That means you have 3 chances of a silver bar, 50%. So you could get 4 silver bars, but you may end up with 2 or 3. And tetrahedrite, you could end up with 4 several bars, but it's a 20% chance per. So you might end up with 0 or 1, maybe 2. You can get 4, it's just harder. All right, but instead what I do is I take an ore of cassiterite and an ore of malachite, and I smelt them together with 1 fuel. So I save a fuel by smelting, instead of smelting them individually and getting 4 of copper, 4 of tin, I smelt them together, and I get the alloy of that, which is bronze. And bronze is also a military metal like copper, but better. It's more expensive. It's got a value of 5, so it's 2.5 times more valuable than either tin or copper. 5 times as valuable as the olivine or the willow. And it makes better killing machines, like trap components. Also, you could still make mechanisms with it, or picks, or crossbows, bolts, swords, axes, all short swords anyway, all sorts of things. And it's much better than copper. In fact, so much so they named a whole age after it, in reverence of how good it is at killing people. The Bronze Age it was an age a long time ago. So it was just after the Iron Age, I think. All right, so that's that, or before. No, yeah, it was before the Iron Age. Yeah, because they couldn't burn hot enough. I don't know. I don't know my history. I don't know what I'm doing. I just play this game all the time. That's all I know. All right, so that's what we got going on there. Colonite. Colonite, you can actually work that in a kiln and make porcelain. So that's 40 pieces of porcelain. Very nice. And I have a potter. And if I don't have any porcelain on this map, like I mentioned, I'll cry. But I will actually have at least some. Sand. Each one of these is a bag of sand, so I get a free 10-point bag. This is another considered exploit, but the primary reason I get it is for the sand itself, because I have a glass maker. So that's 175 pieces of sand something or another. So that's that. And then I got my milks. Another exploit, each one of these milks has its own barrel. Like, you wouldn't mix cow milk and sheep milk. That would be crazy. So you have to have separate barrels. But also the primary reason I get it is not for the barrels, although it's nice and I don't mind that. It's kind of, an advantage. I mean, definitely I'm cheating with the meat. But I like the meat too. And plus there's variety. So with the milk, the primary reason is so I can turn permissions off. So the cook won't cook with the milk directly. He will ignore it. So a cheesemaker can actually make it into cheese, which is, makes it more valuable when cooked in food. So it sells for more, and the dwarves are happier when they eat it, because dwarves have thoughts and feelings, unlike other games where the characters seem to be just cold and lifeless. Here they're full of life and heart and energy and love and hatred and givingness and petty bullshit and arguments and engraving themselves eating cheese in other dwarf's bedroom, where the other dwarf is like, why did you do that? There's a little cartoon about that. All right, so I digress. All right, so now we're going to go to group name, fort name, symbol, which I have not looked at yet. I like to generally have them pick it. I mean, I like cool names. Sometimes I will purposely, like I'll pick like Green Fort or something like that, which is not that cool of a name, but I like it. Yeah, something kind of. Sometimes I like something subdue. I don't like over the top. I don't like grandiose, like Bravery Fort. That'd be too much. All right, but we're gonna see what group name they want to say. All right, so what do you guys want to call yourself? A little bit more forgiving of this. I will be a little bit more stricter with the fort. All right, see. Braille of Cradle. I don't like it. Cradle's stupid. The Razor of Speakers? It doesn't make any sense, but I don't hate it. So, the Razor of Speakers. Not wild about it, but it's just their group name. All right, fort name. Stilled page. See, I'm a little bit more picky here. Covered shot. See, with roar picks, we play the Katy Perry roar song. I don't know. Clasped skunks. Helms Griffin. All right, sometimes I will compromise. If they pick a name that I don't hate. All right, Griffin sounds cool, and they put it in the last place. So I'll say, all right, well, why don't you come up with something else, Griffin? All right, so no, let's see, that's Amazed Griffin. That's ostentatious. No, that's kind of dark. Hall Griffin? No. 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 Sounds like Griffin balls. Race Griffin? No. No. Single Griffin. I guess I could have went with that. Found Griffin. No. Grovegriffon? Alright, fine, whatever. I'm over it. We're Grovegriffon. Yeah, and we're in a good area. Okay. Yeah, I don't love it, but, it's not always about me. It's about the dwarves. The Portentous Whip. I almost never go with anything that has whip in the name. It's too much. The Chaos of Laboring. Alright, perfect. Creature, fine, dwarf, 7 dwarves, an object. Yeah, we're going to go with an X this time. 1. Let's see. Shape. A mountain. 1 mountain. Object. Picks. Creature. What will I go with now? A lot of times I do wombat or alpaca. Black bear. Oh, I know. Yeah, fluffy wombler. Okay, creature. Yeah, we'll go with Yeti. All right. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Okay. We are the cable. This is our symbol. This symbolizes who we are. The chaos of laboring is an image of 7 dwarves, a axe, a mountain picks, a fluffy wombler, 2,147,483,647 yetis. The 7 dwarves are raising the axe. The axe is burning. The 7 dwarves are screaming. The picks are engraving the mountain. The fluffy Wambler is devouring the 2,147,483,647 yetis. The 2,447,483,647 yetis are weeping. The mountain is laughing, and the axe looks confused. All right, so that's who we are, and that's that kind of symbolizes us as a civilization, and it's symbolic. So you read it and you look at the statue and then you kind of reflect on it and you're like, yeah, that kind of is how they you'll see. All right, so embark.
Did you know that 9 out of every 10 embarkments end in complete disaster?
I did know that.
I can't wait to see what awaits us here.
Me neither. All right. Yeah, I hear you. I'm excited too. So there might be dingoes. That's not terrible. It's not terrible, horrible. Grovegriffon. I don't love the name. I'd say maybe it grows on me. It'll grow on me, but maybe it'll do the opposite. Who knows? Grovegriffon. It's okay. I don't like their group name either. Whatever, the Razor of Speakers, or I think that was something like that. I'm not sure, but it was not impressive. Not impressive. All right, well, here we go. Nice. Okay, good. I don't like when I'm parked on fucking water. It pisses me off. It makes me mad, man. Didn't we have a river? Oh, yeah. Oh, we do. We have a brook. There is a brook. I think it's all on the mountain, too. So, yeah. We got galena, orthoclase, which is magma-safe sphalerite. Sphalerite's the ore of zinc. If you mix this with an sphalerite ore, which is, you get 4 zinc, with a malachite or copper or tetrahedrite, made of copper, you get brass, which it's not a military metal, but it's got a value of 7. So it makes nice things. Oh, there's some sand here. So we've got slate. Got a lot of slate. The stone is mica. Gives me an idea of what the fort may look like. We got yellow sand throughout here. Yeah, we don't see much, but we see definitely sand. There's no aquifer here. Sometimes I embark with an aquifer. I don't mind them as much as some people do. Some people can't stand them. Looks like we got a lot of feather trees. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, we got a lot of trees. All right, let me get rid of that. Take a look at the beast of burden. Okay, well, we'll milk the horse. All right. A lot of times I do episode 0s. I think I'm going to... yeah, no, I'm going to do an episode 0. All right, episode 0 means I'm just going to look at stuff. And then I am going to save the... yeah, just save the video. And okay, so... all right, so let's do the bird's eye view. Here's the bird's eye view. There's not a whole lot to see. So all the snow, and we don't have a lot of layers. Sometimes with a lot of layers, you can kind of see things. Now, if I were to go through and tally up all this wood and all, the, anything where you can see the lettuce, bilberries, all that, and I were to put it in a spreadsheet, the spreadsheet might look something like this. Prospect. Sometimes I misspell it. All right, so this is just a grand total of everything we can see. We can see a little galena, sphalerite, tetrahedrite. We don't see a lot, actually. We do see some sand as well, as you can see right here, and some slate, which are layered materials. Doesn't show water because it's all frozen, but we see some frozen liquid. See a couple gems, but who cares? I look for crystal rock. That's the only thing I look for in gems because it helps to make crystal glass. That and pearl ash makes crystal glass. Couple veins. These are typically deeper. Potentially we see the mica. I guess there's orthoclase we saw, microcline. All right, we got some rope reeds. That's good, and we got a variety. We don't have a huge variety, but we have a bigger variety than sometimes I've seen. All right, so we got featherwood tree, which like cherry, permission, ginkgo, larch. Most of these trees, I think, even pear. Bayberry might be different. I don't know. Cedar. I don't know if cedar might be lighter, but or pine. Yeah, most of them have a weight of unit of 600. For instance, oak has a weight of 700. Oak is denser, so it has 700. Willow is very light. It has a density of 390. So typically, if I have willow, I'll like to make wheelbarrows out of it because they're lighter. So it doesn't really matter. I don't think it adds that much. Even if you have steel wheelbarrows, they're easier to move stuff than without. But featherwood has a value of 100. It's the lightest wood. It's very nice. Actually, there's this other one called candlewood that has 340, which is pretty close. But featherwood's nice. And there's kopek, which is in between candlenut and willow, which has a weight of 260. And willow is 390. All right, so none of that matters. You can forget all that. There's no aquifer. Okay, so yeah, prospect all. All right, so this is the cheatiest thing I do. So this basically gives me a list of everything I can see and everything I can't. This is kind of like we're going to the seer with the crystal ball kind of stuff. And we're seeing everything. So water. So if we go down to 121, where are we now? Or 150, we'll find water. So that's kind of like an underground cave or something. It gives a little indication of that based on that too. So yeah, 121, we're at 150. So we got sand, which we see at 149 because it's not here because this is like we could see water. If there was water, it would be at 49. It would not be at 50. We can see it from here, but we're looking at the Z level down. Magma is way down there, so we could see that the magma starts at 15, goes down to -8, and below that it's real fun. I can't tell you. I'm contractually obligated not to. Oh, the water only goes down to 80. Interesting. Yeah, we got quartzite. I think that's magmasite too, and it's crystal. It might not be magma. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. Don't write that down. Marble, my favorite flux. I usually get marble for whatever reason. Gonna get the moment of truth. I'm gonna find out if I have colonite. I hope I do. Gold is gold, so that's 4 gold. Tetrahedrite is 4 copper and 4 20% chances of silver. Garnite is nickel. It's magma safe in both garnite and nickel form. Galena is lead, 50% silver. Sphalerite is zinc, which is, you can help to use bronze. Brass. Screw brass and bronze sometimes. Adamantium. Oh, that's a huge number. I haven't seen it that big. Wow. Almost 19 grand. Good, nice. I like it. Platinum. It's platinum, so we got a lot of platinum. That's good. Silver is silver. Casterite is your tin, which helps us make bronze. This time bronze. Also, you can do tin glazes too. You can do tin and ash glazes. Tin glazes obviously are a little nicer. Malachite is copper. Horn silver is silver. Bismuthinite helps to make bismuth bronze. Who cares? I don't have any aluminum, and that's depressing, but it's not super depressing. Crystal rock, okay, 4,200. I like it to be at least a grand so I can, find it more. The bigger the number, the better. But, I'm just a little happier when it's more like 1,000, although it's not a deal killer if it's less. But, all right, now we find, oh, son of a bitch. Well, actually, I think the adamantium may make up for it. Well, this sucks. It means we're going to have to do the Sorrow Man and burn the fucking forest. Well, I'll just go for the magma. I'll get there. Wait, though, what the fuck? Actually, hang on. Magma's at 15. When does the adamantine start? 83. Wow. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I think I love it. I think. What? What? Really? Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Fine. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, maybe this is wonderful. I don't know. But there's no colonite, and there's no fuel. There's no, and it sucks because we're in a mountain biome, but maybe I'm not upset. Maybe I'm not upset at all. Maybe I'm extremely happy. I don't know. I'm confused is what I am. All right, so we see the 150s here and 49s. That's kind of what we can see. This kind of gives an indication of where the caverns come in. So what's the highest number of the underground stuff? Spore trees and tunnel tubes are underground. So 97. 97. So 97 could very well be the bottom of the top layer of the first level of the caverns. So we should be fine down to 110. Below that, we're running a risk of running into the caverns. Oh, that's a lot of room. Yeah, oh, wait a minute. No, no, no. I stand corrected, or I sit corrected. 123. All right, that's more realistic. 123, 124. Okay, it's 124. I'm hallucinating, everybody. All right, that's more realistic. All right, so yeah, that means that the very bottom of the first level of the top layer of the caverns might be 124. So that's like the highest floor underneath us. So we're probably good down to like 145, 135 or something like that. Still a lot of room. Still, it's a good enough. It's a good amount of room. We got sunberries, airberries. All right, so that's it. That's everything. I hope it was as good for you as it was for me. I hope you enjoyed it so much that you could barely contain yourself well enough not to injure yourself. But you were like, man, that was just like wonderful and beyond. Actually, maybe no. Maybe that's a bad thing because then your expectations are really wacky. I hope you didn't enjoy it that much. Like not like out of the realm of human acceptance or possibility or exuberance. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think that's the takeaway, is that you should be ashamed for watching me because I'm a silly person. How dare you? I don't think I'm going to do a drop. A lot of times I do a drop. I don't think I'm going to do that. That's where I drop this thing. Oh, it is kind of cold here. Drops can be kind of annoying. Because then I have to stop production of shit. But I mean, that means that they're working up top. But you know, when they're working up top, it actually, they get it done so quick. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I'll just burn through it. Yeah, I mean, it's just spring now. I don't think it's cold. I don't know. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about. Thanks, everybody. You were great. Bye!